Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and in today's video, I'll be doing a solo playthrough of Unsettled. And in this video, I'm going to be playing Planet 2, Grakkis, and I'll be playing Task A. This is one of the 2 planet boxes that comes with the base framework game, and I'm doing a blind playthrough today, so I have not played anything from the Grakkis box yet. This will be my first time through it. Now, as always with Unsettled, minor spoiler warning. I'll be revealing map tiles and opportunity cards and various other components from Unsettled that you may not want spoiled for you. Now, I wouldn't put it on the channel if I thought it was major, big spoiler problem stuff. That's a technical term. But if you are a spoiler purist, you will probably want to skip this one. Otherwise, for those of you who are along for the ride, let's get rolling. So I'm all set up for a solo playthrough of Unsettled. I am playing Planet 2, Grakkis, and I am playing Task A. So disclaimer up front, there will be mild spoilers. I will make sure on this channel not to play more than one task from any one planet, but Grakkis is one of the 2 planets that comes with the base framework for Unsettled. So if you were to buy just the base game, this would be included. The only things I'm using today that would not be included are I've got the Luna's synthesizer structure there. I've got these 2 action tracker boards that just help you keep track of what's going on, and these 2 little avatar tokens are from the Avatar Punch Pack. There are avatars that come with the base game, but not those 2 in particular. So again, this could be potentially mild spoilers for Unsettled. I don't think there's anything that's going to be a huge deal, but if you really, really want to go in totally spoiler free, then maybe this is not the video for you. But if you're wondering if you should, if you want to buy Unsettled, if this is the game for you, or if it's something you might be interested in playing, this will give you a sense of exactly what it's like to play it, in particular solo. And in this video, I'm doing a blind playthrough, so that means I have just now read through the rules for this planet. I have not played this planet at all before, so this is my first time through. I've read this and just looked at the first page so I could do the setup, and I'll walk you through some of that. But I'm probably going to make some rules mistakes because, again, I'm sort of internalizing this for the first time. I have not played it. Each planet has new mechanics, so there's a decent chance I'm going to mess some things up, and just got to be okay with that. If I catch it during the edit, as usual, I will add some notes on the screen. And just a quick reminder before I get going, I've got an Unsettled playlist. I bought a bunch of Unsettled stuff all at once and unboxed it all at once and spread out those unboxings across many videos. And so if you're curious about particular components or specific planets or other expansions or add-ons, I've got unboxings for most of that stuff. And I've also got one solo playthrough already for Planet 1, which is Winora. I did Task A on that planet, so you can check out that video as well. Currently, I have planets 1 through 6, so 1 and 2 come with the base framework, and then I bought 3, 4, 5, and 6, so I do intend to do one task from each of those planets as solo playthroughs at some point as well. By default, each planet has 3 different tasks you can play. They're sort of like missions, 3 different missions. And for planets 1 through 6, they sell additional packs of 1 mission each. So I've actually got 4 tasks for planets 1 through 6. So I'll probably play task A of each one on this channel unless somebody requests something specific. But let's get going now. Let's talk about Grakkis. Let's start with this booklet here. So I'm not going to read this to you, but it was pretty interesting. I knew this was some sort of desert planet, and I kind of remember that there was a storm that has different elevations. I must have picked that up just by watching, Orange Nebula's content. The publisher of this game, they release videos, so I must have picked that up somewhere. I kind of knew there was a storm, and it can be either elevated or grounded, and you can be elevated or grounded. So that's what's going on with this little tile here. The storm is elevated, but sometimes it'll be grounded. This will move back and forth. And also, as characters, we can move our tokens up or down. So that's kind of neat that there's a use for these tokens because that was not the case on the previous playthrough I did in Winora. They just kind of sat in this little well, and that's all they did. Now, for simplicity in this playthrough, I did use these two that I said came from the Avatar Punch Pack that are just kind of the generic, boring ones. There's the other ones are a little bit more whimsical, and you can, you know, feel free to play with those when you play, but just for simplicity in this top-down video, and I'm controlling two different character boards at the same time, I just went with the purple one and the orange one, so it was easy for viewers to tell which was which. So anyway, sorry, a little tangent. My point was I knew this was some sort of desert planet. I knew about the storm, but I didn't realize that there are, as this paragraph describes, colossal alien life forms towering across the land like waking existential nightmares. So I guess, that should make sense for Unsettled that there's living stuff around, but I just, in my head, it was kind of a dead planet. I don't know. So that's really interesting thematically. And for setup, so there's already this little board, which I told you about, just tracks where's the storm and where are you as your different players. You can be either grounded or elevated. So there's this giant storm on the planet, and just think of it as it can either go higher up into the atmosphere or it can come down to ground level. And it kind of bounces between the two. It moves between. And then on each individual space here, each of these environment cards, or I'll probably call them tiles, but they're cards. But on each location that you're at, you can be either grounded or you can move up in elevation. And then you can be either in the storm or not in the storm. Now, there are also these energy storm cards, and so I already shuffled them, but I'll give them a quick shuffle now. So they're all unique. If you watch the playthrough of Winora, these are the planet specific cards. So in Winora there were hallucinations. In this planet on Grakkis there are energy storms. So you shuffle them up and then you take the top one and flip it face up, and we'll talk about what this does in just a moment. And then on the time track here, we put this token, which comes in the Grakkis box. It's just this up-down arrow. I've kind of turned it 90 degrees because of the orientation we're sitting at. Every time the time tracker reaches that space, the storm moves. So it either becomes then grounded or becomes elevated. It just goes to its opposite state. And also at that time, we take this current card here, this Energy Storm card, put it on the bottom of the stack, and grab the next one and make that one face up. So every time the storm moves, its behavior changes. And so this is activated each time an explorer starts their turn, or I'm sorry, let me back that up. Whenever you start your turn in a storm, you gain a distress. So that's how you gain distress in this task, or probably across this whole planet. And each time you gain a distress, you resolve this effect. So this behavior will change. So it could be that, depending on where the storm is and what side of this is up, or which card is on top here, it may become favorable at sometimes, I don't know, to gain a distress and gain whatever this says here. So as it stands now, this says when you gain a distress, you resolve Firestorm. If there are no other explorers on your node, trust goes down. And then there's a reminder at the bottom with the same symbol as this. When you reach that symbol, change the storm elevation and replace this card. So what else have we got for this planet here? Yes, there are some opportunities that work a little bit different than we've seen before, and these look kind of cool. I guess some of these map tiles, which I haven't really looked at except to just find the two that I needed for this setup. Some of the map tiles will have a little space on it to grab one of these opportunity tokens. So when you reveal one of those, you grab the token, you place it on that map tile. And then some opportunities will only be available for that particular space. So if you find that opportunity before you find the map tile, then you place the colored opportunity disc on the opportunity card until you find that map tile, and then you move the opportunity to that tile. So we'll probably see that in action. I don't know why I'm so confident about that. I don't know how many of these there are in the deck. Maybe we won't see it in action, but it would be cool if I could find it. But real quick, we'll go through this FAQ again. This is the important stuff. When you reach that token with the time marker, then change the storm's elevation, flip a new energy storm card face up. The energy storm card has no effect other than when an explorer gains distress. It does not resolve when the trigger is reached this being the trigger, and a new card is revealed. And explorers only gain distress if they start their turn in the storm. Entering the storm does not automatically trigger distress. So that is the Planet Primer book. I think other than that, things will mostly work the same as Winora. Of course, each planet has an individual unique action for Luna. So if I can ever pick up this card and bring it close enough to read it, I'll tell you what it is. We have Bionic Leash. So you place a focus die here and pip down, and then adjust the elevation of an explorer within one node of Luna. That seems like it might be really helpful, so I'll put that there. Of course, normally the card would go this way, but the setup for this game is really not ideal for my camera setup. You know, the game does take up some space. I don't want to make it sound like it doesn't, but I had to set it up in a not ideal way just to make it all kind of fit on camera because of the layout, this diagonal layout of this map. So I'm a little squished and I've moved some cards around, but that's okay. Let's take a look now at this Task A first card. So this one is called, this task is Jumpstarting the Scarab. So I'll go ahead and just read the story to you here. The Scarab, which is our ship, don't forget, that's the ship that our explorers come from. The Scarab's primary engine is compromised, leaving us unable to create thrust and just sort of floating around. We've strategically floated down to the surface of this stormy desert wasteland, where we strategically thumped down between two possible building sites for us to set up science stations. Very strategically. Not at all by lucky happenstance. If we don't find a way to repair the engine, this planet will become our graveyard. So we're going to find a way, because as graveyards go, this planet isn't great. We can do better. The good news is that readings indicate the wild chemical storm raging across the planet has the potential to create the kind of massive gaseous discharge we require for our repairs. First, we need to construct accumulator pylons, science for batteries, to store the storm's chemical energy. Then, we'll leash a conductive tether from the batteries to the Scarab. Then we'll use that energy to repair the engine. So to me, that kind of sounds like the 3 tasks we'll have, like mini tasks we'll have to do to complete this task A. And then it says it's pretty complex science, which isn't really the science we would have asked for, but hey, we have each other, which has sometimes been enough. So jump starting the Scarab. And then we'll flip this over. So here's the setup. This is the map. I've already got it done. You're supposed to put these 2 specific map locations in those corners. This is Stonewood Sanctuary, and up there is Empyrean Hideout. And those 2 locations have similar but opposite effects. So this one says if you are grounded, so if your token is here, you are immune to the storm and may access this build site and structure. And that reminds me, I should probably tell you about this important bullet point here. Unless otherwise indicated, interacting with the Scarab and most structures requires that you be grounded, regardless of where the storm is. So you've got to be grounded to interact with structures. And then that Empyrean Hideout up there, the top right location, is the same effect, but it applies if you are elevated. So if you're elevated, you're immune to the storm and may access this build site and structure. So there you go. That's the setup. And now this third card, which is this is as far as I've seen, this is our next task. And when we complete it, then we could flip this over, get a new task, follow the directions. This says construct accumulator pylons. And the flavor text says the only safe places to construct pylons are about as far away as possible. So we're kind of having a day. So we must construct both pylons. And if you haven't noticed, up there with the planet-specific components, there's 2 pylons. They're the same shape and size as these other structures. So they go in these spaces here. Use the action below when on a node with an empty build site to construct a pylon. Now that's interesting to me because they give you these 2 sites that are far apart, but I don't know. I haven't looked at these other 8 cards. Presumably there are other build sites so that you can build like the other standard structures. So I wonder, like, if we come across other build sites, say here and here, I think we can build the pylons much closer. I don't think we have to go that far necessarily. And then place a black marker in the box, in a box on this card each time you build a pylon. And when the focus cube is removed from the action space and both boxes are filled, discard the markers and then advance the booklet here. So this looks kind of expensive to me to do though. So to fabricate a pylon, you must have engineering comprehension present. And then it's going to cost 2 data, 2 material, and 2 energy. So we're going to need to get a lot of that stuff. So this is what we're working on: construct accumulator pylons. And now I think we can get going with the first turns here, and I'll start with purple, and then orange will be second player. And so I think I'm going to head this way, if for no other reason than because it's kind of a far reach over there, and this is closer to me. So I got to pick a direction, right? Let's go this way. And purple is going to go first. So let's start by moving Luna, and I will move Luna to the left. Let's go here and find out what this is. So these are feasting cliffs, and it'll go right back here, so there won't be any edge node symbol here or to go down. So I think that's a good thing, so we won't be spending any time anyway. And it has an action. It says if you are elevated, you may place a focus die there and then pip up twice on that die. So again, these are the feasting cliffs, and that action is cautiously feast. And the artwork's really cool. So it's these big cliffs, and it looks like there's somebody standing over here and some kind of alien creature flying around. So yeah, I might be cautious about feasting on that. So let's put that tile there and move Luna onto it. And I know I'm going to need data and material and energy, of course. So we might as well have Luna scan for something, and I'm going to start with data. So I didn't really have room for this dice tray, but here's the data die, and let's scan. And we've got 2. Okay, that's good. So scan Luna, mark that off. So Luna has scanned the feasting cliffs, and there is some data there that we can now internalize if we choose. And so I think I will do that. I'm going to take my what is this, awareness focus, place it here. I have to pip down 1, and then I can gain 1 data, and because I used my awareness focus, I can gain a second data from Luna's node. So 2 data from here into our general supply, so that'll help pay for a pylon. And next I am going to traverse. I'm going to use my energy focus here, so I've got a pip down, and because I use the energy one, then I can increase my insight once. And for both of these characters here, I started with the engineering insight because I know we're going to need it to construct these pylons. So I thought, let's just have them both work on it because it's got to be present at some point. And then once they've each got one, then they can diversify. One can go with robotics, and the other can go with chemistry. So this is traverse. So I can move and or carry a local explorer to one node. So I am going to move here, and I'm going to carry orange with me. So now we're on this node, and I did that through traverse. So now I will take the move explorer action, and I will come down to this space with purple. So let's see what we've got here. We have Behemothhic Graveyard. That is an interesting word, interesting suffix on behemoth. So Behemothhic Graveyard. So this has Ancient Bone. You can see this little cutout. So we're going to take this Ancient Bone discovery token, which is right here, and we place it here on this space. So there may be an opportunity then linked with that where you have to come here to collect this Ancient Bone. It's really cool though. It looks like a T-Rex skeleton, or a T-Rex skull on like a, I don't know, basically a dragon, like a giant winged thing, but some huge skeleton. So purple moves in here. We do cross this time barrier, so move the time marker, and it says when entering, if you possess the petrified tag, then you can increase your insight, but we do not have any tags yet, so I don't get to do that. And now I've only got 1 focus die left, and I need to rest. So I'm going to place that down here on rest. That pips it up and advances the time marker again. And I don't have any more actions I can take. So I'm going to reset my action trackers, recover my focus blocks, and that is it for purple. So now it's orange's turn. And I didn't mention it earlier, but purple is playing as the skeptic, and orange is playing as the artificer. And I think they're, in one way, sort of opposites of each other, where when trust goes down and these need to flip, skeptic goes from theorize to investigate, and artificer goes from investigate to theorize. So anyway, let's start by moving Luna. Luna's just going to come down here, and then let's scan with Luna, and this time we will scan for materials. So here's the material die. 2. All right, another 2. That's good. So we're going to put 2 materials here, and now any explorer can pick those up while they're on that tile. And we'll move orange now. We'll just do a regular move, and that passes through a time marker. So this advances. And I think I'm going to investigate, and I'm going to use my awareness block. Because I don't get any sort of bonus from using the wonder block like you typically do with investigate. So this one says when you take this action, you can either reveal an opportunity as normal on your node, or instead of revealing an opportunity, you can gain 1 insight and gain a material. So that's kind of neat. But I am going to do an opportunity. So I'm going to pip this down 1 and then select an opportunity, and I'll take it from the blue stack because it's closer. And what does this one say? This one says, gather ye paste buds. Oh boy. So there is a paste pouch token here. Let's grab that. Okay, and I guess we could just keep this here. The right thing to do would be to keep it there, but this is a little bit closer. So let's place the opportunity on this tile, which is a little bit crowded now. And what does it say? A strange pulse from the storm catches your attention, and you spot a large creature slowly emerging from the tempest. Fleshy spheres dangle from its undercarriage. Yuck. It doesn't say yuck. That's my own editorializing. Swarms of smaller creatures come and go, attaching and removing fleshy spheres of various fullness. You sense the obvious opportunity. So immediately resolve the storm trigger. So that means the storm is going to move, and then we need to replace this energy storm card. So this one goes on the bottom, and now this one, the next one is revealed. So the new thing that we need to worry about is energy storm, high voltage strikes. All local explorers, this is when somebody gains a distress, all local explorers pip down once and gain insight. And we are going to need some insight. That might be worth it, because we can't build any of these pylons until we've got an engineering insight present. But then to complete this opportunity, it says create paste siphon. Prerequisites. Luna must be present, and you must be elevated. So there's an action now. We can, if you place a focus block there, you can pip it up and gain 2 insight. And that's pretty good, in addition to gaining the anomaly. So what I think I'm going to do for my next action is I'm going to take my energy block. I'm going to pip it down 1 to use Luna's action, Bionic Leash. And that says adjust the elevation of an explorer within 1 node of Luna. So I'm going to adjust purple's elevation. So purple is now elevated. So when they start their turn, they will not be in the storm and they won't gain a distress. And then because they're elevated, they'll be able to take advantage of this opportunity. Although actually, you know what? Not purple. Orange, because when I take my rest action, I will advance time and the storm is going to move. So I don't want purple to be elevated because the storm is about to go back up. I want purple to be grounded. So, okay, that's pretty interesting. So I will now put my last focus block here to rest. So I pip it up, advance time, and that triggers the storm to move again. And then we replace this energy storm card another time. So now we have energy storm, ferocious thunder shock. So if someone gains a distress, then all local grounded explorers gain an insight, and all local elevated explorers pip down. These are pretty interesting. A little bit difficult to plan for, but they're cool. So okay, let's recover the focus dice, or the focus blocks. We need this one. All right, very interesting. So we're back to purple now, and our wonder die is pipped up. So let's start by taking that and placing it here. So we pip it down once, and because we can collect a material from the node we're on, and because we use the wonder die, we can collect a second. So we have 2 materials now. And what else? We're doing okay on data and materials, but we're going to need some energy too. So let's maybe start with this. Let's move Luna. Because we either need to go this way or this way. Oh, but if I move Luna, we can't do this. So maybe we'll keep Luna where they are. And I guess we'll have Luna do a scan since we're here. Let's scan. And it doesn't really matter what we scan for. We'll be back here one way or another, because after we come here, we'll have to backtrack this way at some point. We'll definitely come through this node again. So let's do materials. One. Okay, one material now on this node, and I thought I was going to move and explore, but at the start of the next turn, I expect orange will gain a distress, and because purple, if I keep purple local and grounded, they'll gain 1 insight, and that might be a good thing to stick around for. So I feel like I'm maybe slow playing it a little bit, but I'm going to place my awareness focus die here, which does not need to pip down on theorize, and then I can either gain 1 data, 1 energy, or 1 material. And I'm going to gain 1 energy because I don't really have another good way to do that. And we're going to need 4 of them to complete that task. Okay, so 1 just moved up in the dynamo and we can use that at some point. Oh, but I guess I could just place this die there and pip it down and get 2. That's that action. Is that better than theorize? I mean, I guess this doesn't pip down, which is nice. Maybe I'll plan on doing that next time. I'll put this one on rest to pip it up, just to build it up a little bit. So this will go on rest. We advance time. My turn is not necessarily over, though. I've just set all my focus die. I don't have any miscellaneous actions. I could move Luna or move an explorer, specifically myself. You get a free move action. But I think I'll stick around. I'm going to go after this opportunity, and I'll try and get that insight for purple while I'm at it. So that's going to be the end of purple's turn. I'll recover my focus blocks. There's awareness, there's energy, there's wonder, and I've reset all my markers. So now it's orange's turn, and orange is starting in the storm. So orange gains a distress. Let's grab one of those. So these are all the same. It says impaired. When gained, resolve the storm effect, and if the crew has 4 or more distress, then trust goes down. Oh, that's interesting. Trust does not automatically go down. I don't know why that was in my head. So, okay, this is our first distress. So trust does not go down. That's pretty cool, but we do have to resolve this effect. So all local grounded explorers, which is going to be purple in this case, gain 1 insight. So we need that. And all local elevated explorers have to pip down once. So we're going to pip down, that's orange, we're going to pip down on the wonder die, go from 3 to 2. That was not too bad. And now I do have to cover up one of my actions. And I think I'm going to cover up, probably recover. I don't see myself using that. Okay, so while I'm here, let's scan with Luna, see if we can get another material. So we're going to roll this again. 2. Okay, so there's going to be 3 material here now. Not a bad thing. All right, so we got plenty of material here. We can pick that up now or later, but it's there when we're ready for it. And I definitely do want to get this opportunity. So which die do I want to use? It's going to pip up, so I want to take that into account. Oops, and this should be in the supply. There we go. I think I'll use the awareness one because it might be good on another turn to use this standard theorize action. So even though you can go down to here, that's not the end of the world, but we pip this up, create a paste siphon. So prerequisites: Luna must be present, check, and you must be elevated, check. So we gain 2 insight, 1, 2, and a anomaly. So we just take the top one off this shuffled stack. This one is, oh, that's nice. Engineering must be present. So that's what we're working towards. This is assimilate into bionetwork. Oh, and that's really interesting. So when you use this effect, oh, and we have the electrified tag now. I don't know. We haven't seen a place where that would help us yet, but that's interesting. So we're electrified. And to use this, we will... Here, we get this token. We discard the token and lose the card. And then we move one of these energy circles from the dynamo to cover and permanently negate any node edge symbol. So we can cover up like one of these time edge symbols so we're not spending time every time we traverse through it. That's really neat. And it's kind of interesting. It says, yeah, move one of those tokens from the dynamo. It doesn't necessarily say from the like charged part of the dynamo. The whole thing is the dynamo. So I suppose you can take it from the bottom, which makes this even stronger. Now, normally keep your breakthroughs and your anomalies to the left side of your player board, but I'm going to keep oranges to the right and purples sort of to the left as best I can. We'll see how much stuff I get. It might be tough to fit it all, like on the table, in a way that makes any sense. So we're going to put this up here. So normally some of this stuff is stored by this board, but I kind of wanted that space for purple's cards to go. So anyway, cool effect. We can't use it until we have at least one engineering comprehension, but we've got both players working towards that. So I think that was worth getting this one distress card. That's not that big a deal. So now let's move Luna. And we'll just pick one of these two directions, and if it looks unfavorable, then I'll move the explorers the other way. So we'll send Luna here. And this seems okay. So this is a Spinous Roost, and there's an action here. You can place a focus die, and you don't have to pip at all, and it says, hitch a ride. You may adjust your elevation. Oh, that's handy. So we can move into that space from here, which Luna does. We can move here with no edge symbols on the nodes, but then moving from here to here, we will spend a time and a insight. But that's nice that you can change your elevation easily. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wonder die and place it here to unearth materials. So I pip it down so I can pick up one materials from here plus one because I used my wonder die. So we've got 4 materials now. So that's enough that we can build both of our pylons. And now I can choose to move explorers, but I'm not going to. I'm going to keep orange right where they are. So I'm going to take my last focus die here. I pip it up on rest. I advance time, and we have looped the time track, so we need to lose 1 endurance. So time is ticking. Now, since that's the end of my turn, the moment has passed. So we replace that. What else? We grab our focus die back. 1, 2, and where's the last one? Right here. And this card is just out. Can't get it again, so I'll put it face up on the bottom of the stack. So if I somehow reach it again, I'll know that it's not available. And let's reset these action trackers, and it's back to purple now. And I'm looking around. I thought I saw somewhere, some way to increase trust. And now I don't remember where that was. Oh, here on this support action. I think I want to do that. That'll allow us to pip up a couple times. That'll be good. So purple's going to have something of a nothing turn, I guess. But I'm going to take this wonder die and put it on Bionic Leash and pip it down to 1 so I can adjust the elevation of an explorer within 1 node of Luna. So I'm going to adjust orange's elevation to get out of the storm now. I feel like orange is the one playing and purple is supporting a little bit. Because now I'm going to take this orange energy die, put it on the normal support action, so I pip it down, and then another local explorer may discard a distress, and we can increase trust, which is already maxed. So between all explorers, we pip up twice. And so I think I'm going to give orange 1 on the awareness die, and I'm going to give purple 1 on the wonder die. Okay, so that wasn't nothing. That's fine. Let's now, I suppose, move Luna. Let's go over here, move Luna back. And let's have Luna scan as well. And this time we're going to scan for data. So we need to roll this die. 1 data here on this node. May or may not try and pick that up later. Oh, and it just occurs to me, I did that whole opportunity thing on this node. I need to track that with an investigate token. So this node cannot be explored again. I guess I gotta find a different corner for this because there's something there. Okay, we cannot do that again in this node. No big deal. What else? I moved Luna, I scanned, I placed 2 focus die. The last one has to go on rest. So I guess that's it. I can move the explorer, But I'm thinking I'm going to move Luna again on Orange's turn, and then I can pick a path that I want these explorers to take. So yeah, I think I'm done. I need to place my last die here, the awareness one. I pip it up. It's required, and then advance time. So now let's bring these focus blocks back. Reset my action markers. And now it's Orange's turn again, and no one is starting in the storm, so that's nice. So let's go ahead, move Luna. Let's go down here so I know what my options are. So Luna comes down. We've got a billowing storm canyon. So we know we're going this direction. We have not uncovered any other structure spaces, so there might not be any others. I don't know. But if we go this way in this direction, there's no symbols here, and then we'll gain, as we come down from here to here, we'll lose a time and gain an insight. If we go this way, I guess it's double. There's 2 time here, but then there's 1 insight and 2 insight. But then also, this one, the Billowing Storm Canyon, when entering, if you are grounded, gain 1 material. And also, I just noticed there's a little outline here for diffusive gas, so we've got to place that discovery token. So that one's way in the back, of course. There we go, diffusive gas. So, okay, that's fine. Let's have Luna scan now, and we'll go for data. We're going to need some data. 2. Okay, 2 is a good number. There we go. More efficient than 1. And now I'm going to spend an awareness die here on the standard theorize action. So I pip it down. Another explorer gains an insight. And then because I used awareness, I gain an insight. So we're getting closer to getting that engineering comprehension that we need. And because I've spent my awareness die, I can't use it here to get the 2 data on that node. So maybe I'll have purple do that. And I'll take my move action now. I will move orange, I think, over this way. I don't want to spend that much time because that's a valuable resource, and I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm probably going to lose because of time. If I had to guess, I'll run out of endurance. So I don't want to have to go through there and spend the double time. So I'm going to take this route, and then let's take this energy die and pip it down here to gain 2 energy. Charge 2 energy in the dynamo. There we go. And I think this is working out nice. Because as we advance time, when we hit this token again, the storm will come back down to being grounded. But if you are grounded and in this node, then you are immune to storm effects. So I think when the storm becomes grounded, we'll be in a good spot for it, unless some crazy game effect moves the storm before then. So I think the only other thing I can do is set my wonder die on rest. I pip it up, advance time, and now I reset. Let's grab all my focus blocks. I realize I'm being really inconsistent between calling them focus blocks and focus die because it's hard to remember. So we reset the action trackers, and now it is purple's turn. Purple's not starting in the storm, so I don't need a distress. So I think I'll start by having Luna pip this down, gather these 2 data. So that's a good thing to have. And then let's maybe move Luna up to here, because I think I'll have Luna moved in this space next, just so I know what my options are to get back to the Scarab. And then maybe I can start having Luna scout ahead a little bit. And then I'll take my move action to come here. And I think I'm going to move my wonder die. Is that what I want to do? Yeah, wonder here, which does not need to pip down and I gain any 1 resource. I'm going to gain 1 more energy in the dynamo. And finally, I will put my energy die on rest, which pips it up, advances time, and that's the end of purple's turn. So let's reclaim these focus blocks and reset the action trackers. Now it's time for orange, who is not starting in the storm. And I don't know that I'll need it, but let's have Luna scan for materials before we move, just in case we decide we need materials on the way back. We know we're going to pass through this node. We got a 2. Okay, so there's 3 materials here on this node and 1 data. And now we'll move Luna. Let's see what's here. Okay, we have Mystical Formation. And so there's a time symbol here, getting back to the scarab. And if you are grounded, you may take this action, which is take brief interlude and allows you to pip up twice. So that's pretty nice. I almost don't know where I want to put Luna because the artwork is just so nice on these. I don't want to cover it up. So we've had Luna scan. We've moved Luna. What actions are we going to take? We are going to use our energy die. We pip it down to traverse. And so we can move and or carry a local explorer one node. So we're going to move one node and carry purple. The the node edge effects only apply to orange. They don't apply to somebody who's being carried through. So orange gains 1 insight, and we advance time, which now moves the storm down, and we get the next energy storm card. This one says Violent Dust Funnel. That doesn't sound great. All local explorers are immediately elevated. You may not move this turn. You may still use the traverse action. Then you lose an insight, ouch, and get to pip up once. So that is the effect when someone gains a distress. I'm pretty sure I don't have to worry about that because both of these explorers are grounded and they're on this node, and the node says if you are grounded, you are immune to the storm. So I believe that would mean not just this card, but immune from gaining the distress as well. That makes sense to me. And then you may access this build site and construct, or this build site and structure. So I've got some other actions orange can take. I've got at least one more die I can use, but unfortunately just not enough actions to actually construct the pylon because we have no engineering comprehension present. So I'm going to take my awareness die, pip it down, and do theorize. So orange now gains 1 insight, and that'll lead to a comprehension. And then because I use the awareness die, purple by default gains the insight. Because I use the awareness die, orange also gains 1. So we need to grab a comprehension token. So we get one of those here. And that gives us a breakthrough as well. So what is this breakthrough card? It says shift magnetic resonance. So you would pay 1 energy, move it from the positive to the negative side of the dynamo, and then set all local explorers to the same elevation, limit once per turn. That's really cool. Don't forget, it's limit once per turn, but it doesn't have to be your own turn. You can use it on other players' turns too. These are all interrupt type actions. So now I can reset this insight die to another face. I don't know what I need. I'm not really being pushed towards either engineering or chemistry. So let's go with chemistry. I don't know, it's got to be something. So we set that to chemistry now. And I'm not going to move again. I want to stay there because of the storm. So I'm going to take my wonder die, my wonder block, pip it up on rest as required, which advances time. And that is going to be the end of orange's turn. So I will recover my focus blocks. And now it goes over to purple. And purple is in the presence of an engineering comprehension. So I think I'm going to have purple build this first pylon. I don't know. Maybe we'll use the wonder die. Yeah, we'll use energy. I don't know what I'm doing. We'll use wonder. We've got way more wonder between the two of us. Let's use wonder. So this pips down. There is a engineering comprehension present. It's going to cost 2 data, 2 material, and 2 energy. And now I can fabricate a pylon. So let me grab one of those from way up there. And so we've got a pylon, accumulator pylon here, and place a marker cube here. So it appears now we're going to have to get all the way to the other side. So maybe I should have split up my explorers at the beginning, but I was really hoping I would find other sites where I could build structures along the way. So I guess that's not going to be the case. So with that knowledge, let's move Luna. I'm not going to bother scanning for anything, I don't think. We're just going to move up here. I don't know if Luna can scan on the scarab space, but I'm going to say no. Maybe you can. I don't know. I'm going to say no, though. So I think I'm going to take this energy block, place it here, pip it down. I used energy so I can put 2 energy from negative to positive in the dynamo, because I think we're going to need to spend those probably in a minute. And yeah, actually, you know what? I'm going to use it now. I'm going to have orange shift magnetic resonance. So I spend 1 energy like that and set all local explorers to the same elevation. So I'm going to set all local explorers to elevated to get us out of this storm before we move off of the tile. So that's been used. Let's tap it. And I'm not going to move my explorer. I'm going to put my awareness die on rest, pip it up, advance time, and now we lose another endurance. So that's ticking down real fast considering I'm still on card number 1. I definitely should have split up, but oh well. So I think this turn is over. Reset the action die or markers, take back the focus blocks. This one comes back. All right, and now it is Orange's turn. Oh, and we can untap this. Okay, and I think I'm going to use this now. So an engineering comprehension is present. Discard. So we discard this paste pouch and move 1 energy from the dynamo to cover and permanently negate any node edge symbol. So let's do this time symbol right here. Let's cover that up. So that anomaly has been used. Can't use that again. And then I'm going to use my wonder die to take the traverse action. So I pip it down. I don't get the bonus of 1 insight, but I can now move myself and a local explorer. So we're going to take this move. Purple, again, was being carried, so we ignored node edge symbols for them. But orange, as the active player, we advance time and then gain 1 comprehension that way. And we just entered this node, but we are not grounded, so we don't gain any material. And then I think I want to investigate. I'm going to use my awareness die, pip it down here, and investigate on this node. So I need an investigated token and a moment marker. Looks like we're going with blue again. So this one's been investigated. Can't investigate there again. Let's grab the card. And what is this one? Ballooning Phasmid. Interesting. So that goes there. An inadvertent challenge. So this says, you startle a needle-shaped creature that darts between 2 large rocks and promptly inflates like a balloon, filling the space and making itself nearly impossible to pull out. So, of course, you feel a powerful need to pull it out. Immediately, each local explorer pip up. That's very helpful. I needed that, especially for orange. So orange is going to pip up on awareness. Ooh, and looking at this, I want purple to pip up on awareness too. So this action makes you pip down twice, but if you use awareness, then you gain an insight. And the prerequisite is you have to be grounded, and then you gain this ballooning phasmid and 2 insight. So I think I'd like to have purple be able to do that. So I will have to get grounded. That'll be that'll cause a little distress, but I think we'll be fine. So let's move Luna now. Go over here. And what is this one? I got to bring it a little bit closer. We have Elemental Colonnade. So there's going to be pressurized gas here. I'll grab that token in a minute. And when entering, if you are electrified, gain an insight. Oh, and orange was electrified until we spent that anomaly. So we have since lost that tag, but we might get it again. So this goes here, and that's really nice. Because moving in here doesn't cost any time and gains you an insight. So let's grab that pressurized gas token and place it there. I'd love to get one of the opportunities that has one of those types of requirements. Okay, and I know we're going to move up through this tile. We have to, and there's plenty of material there. So let's have Luna scan for data now. So we've got less of that, less opportunity to get it 2. Okay, so 2 data for Luna. We can pick that up in the future. And finally, I'll set my focus die to rest. So I pip up my energy die and advance time and recover all of these blocks. And now it goes to purple. And so on purple's turn, I'm going to start with orange, interrupting to spend an energy to shift magnetic resonance, set all explorers to the same elevation, which I assume means you can move them both together. I don't think they have to be on different elevations. Maybe they do, but that's the way I'm interpreting it. It seems okay to me. So limit once per turn, that's been done. That was after the turn started. And you can choose to do it like before the turn starts. It can interrupt literally anything. So if we started here and I did not want purple to gain a distress, I could use this to prevent it. But that's not what I'm doing right now. So I've moved us down after purple has started their turn, I'm saying, so that we did not gain any distress for starting in the storm. And now I will have purple do this. So we need to pip down twice. We used our awareness die, so we gain 1 insight, and that is going to give us an engineering comprehension and a breakthrough. So we'll take a look at that in a second. And we can reset now our insight die here. So let's put this on robotics since we're not working on that. And the prereq was we are grounded, and we are grounded. So now we gain this, which gives us an anomaly. So we'll take that as well. And 2 more insight. 1, 2. All right, that was pretty good. Let's check out these cards. The breakthrough is activate cyborg function 13. So you spend an energy for this one as well, limit once per turn. This turn, for each time symbol you cross over on the map node edges, gain 1 pip and 1 insight. So that takes some of the sting out of those time symbols. And let's check the anomaly. So, robotics comprehension is required. So luckily we're working on robotics. We're about halfway up on that one. So I can't use this yet until I have that. But we did gain the petrified tag, which can help us when we enter that node. So that's good. And this anomaly is smash to smithereens. Discard 1 data and 1 material and place the resulting resource on your node. Oh, no, I misinterpreted that when I read that. Let's go through it again. So when you discard this card, it says roll. You roll for material and you roll for data and then place the resources on your node. So you spend this 1 time, roll both die, and then get those things on your node. Okay, that's pretty cool. That makes more sense. For a second, I also thought it was telling me to discard the die. And then I was like, what, I can't roll them anymore? So anyway, we did that opportunity. So that was cool. So now I'll take move action. Purple is going to come up here. And as we cross that edge, we gain 1 insight. And as we enter this node, when entering, if you possess petrified, which I do, then you gain 1 more insight. So that's nice. I've almost unlocked very quickly here that second robotics comprehension, or the second comprehension, this time robotics. And while I'm here, let's set my wonder die here. So I pip it down and I can gain a material plus gain a second one because I used the wonder die. So I've got 4 material now. And I guess I need to move Luna. Let's do that. Go up to here. Well, you know what? No, we're going to go back to the scarab, I think. And now I'll just set the last focus die here on rest. So I pip it up, I advance time, and now I grab all these focus blocks back. This one here, this one. This opportunity goes to the bottom of that stack. Put the moment marker back. What else? Reset these. And now it's Orange's turn. So we reset this. Orange is starting in the storm. Do I want to spend this to shift their elevation? No. I'm going to let Orange go ahead and start in the storm so we gain a distress. This will be the same as previous ones. So impaired, when gain, resolve the storm effect. And if the crew has 4 or more distress, then trust goes down. We have plenty, or we don't have any other distress, so trust does not go down. We're going to cover up this space. And the storm effect says, oh yeah, that's not great. All local explorers are immediately elevated. So that's going to be just orange is elevated. And you may not move this turn. You may still use the traverse action. Ooh, I didn't think about that. So I can't move. I can only traverse. And then I lose 1 insight, but I can pip up. And I'm probably going to have to traverse. So let's pip up there. So let's maybe move Luna now. We're going to move Luna up so that I can see what my 2 options are here. So they look pretty similar, although I can't read what this says too far away. This is Sheltering Oasis. If you are grounded, you are immune to the storm and its effects. So that sounds pretty nice. It looks really nice. And we'll put Luna up there. And now let's have Luna scan for data again, just so I've got a couple places where I can get data. So we're going to roll for that. 2. All right, I'm rolling a lot of 2s. The Luna resource dice are being kind to me today. So we've scanned with Luna. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and use this awareness block, pip it down, and now Luna will grab both of these data. I don't know if Luna's going to stay there, but we've got the data now, so that's nice. And I will use my energy block, pip down to traverse. So I'm going to move here. Crossing over there gives me an insight. And then because I used my awareness die on this action, I gain another insight. And then we'll put this last focus block, the wonder one, here. So I rest so it pips up. We advance time. We're on the trigger now, so the storm moves, and we replace the energy storm card. I don't know why I don't just flip. I should have just flipped this whole thing upside down. Let's just do that because this is silly. And this will only take a second. The deck should just be like this, so you're not flipping, you're just moving the top card to the bottom. Okay, now we have Energy Storm as Perplexing Calm. Interesting. The active player pips up twice. Ooh, that's like a good thing. So we don't like want to gain a bunch of distress, but that kind of makes me want to gain some distress. So let's bring these back now. Recover these focus blocks, reset the action trackers. Okay, now purple gets to go. And if I move this way, it'll be 1 total time. If I move this way, we're going to cross over 2 time symbols. Although both of these tiles give you the same effect. But to use this one, you must be grounded. To use this one, you must be elevated. And I'm likely to be grounded. So that kind of pushes me to go this way. But I think time is more my enemy than my focus blocks right now. So I'm going to use my energy die for traverse action, pip it down, and I'm going to pick up orange, and we're going to cross over here. So the node edge symbol only applies to purple. We advance time once. And now we'll use the awareness die. Here we pip down. And another local explorer may remove a distress. So we'll send this back up here. And trust goes up. So again, we can't bump trust any higher. So among all explorers, we pip up twice, which is really the same effect as this. Rather than gain a distress, I'd rather just increase trust, right? I think I am going to have purple pip up twice. Well, actually, no, I don't know if that's true. I'm going to have purple pip up on this awareness die, and orange also pip up on awareness. My awareness always seems to be low, so I think that's what I did last time too. So now let's move Luna, and we'll finally find out what's here at this intersection. Oh man, time symbols on both parts, okay? And what does this say? This is a stone fruit concentration. When you enter, if you possess moist, then you can pip up once. And we need to add a stone fruit bulb here. All right. And so how am I going to decide which way to go? Luna's here. We know we're going to pass through that node, so we'll scan for something. If our explorers go this way, they'll pass this insight, nobody's electrified, so we won't get that bonus. And then this is a double time. Whereas if we go this way, there's two insight and then 2 time symbols, and that seems to be safer. We'll probably go up around that way then. Okay, and then we've already got some data here. Maybe we'll scan with Luna for some materials. So let's roll that die. 1. All right, 1 material on that node. I don't know if I'll specifically need it for anything, but there we go. And I will have purple now take the move action. Let's go to here. Oh, and I've already scanned with Luna. So I think that'll be it. I'll put the wonder die, the wonder block on rest, pip it up, advance time. We lose another endurance. I'm going to run out of endurance before I even finish this first task. Whoopsie, but you learn as you go. So we'll recover these blocks now. Again, rest does not have to be the last action of your turn. It's just the way I tend to do it. Makes sense to me. So now it is orange, and orange is starting in the storm. So we take another distress for orange. Maybe I should just keep these closer to me so I don't have to reach so far. We'll put it in that same spot again, and we need to resolve this effect. So orange is going to pip up twice. And I think we do that with awareness and energy. Alrighty. And now let's have Luna scan for materials again, just so we can leave a nice stockpile there before we move Luna. 1 more, that's fine. It's always most efficient to pick up 2. So that's okay. So we've scanned. Now let's move. We'll go to the right because it's easier to reach. And we have swirling aeroform pool. Really cool artwork. We need to add low density gas here. So that's this token. So there's going to be a time symbol here on the left, but nothing on the top. And it says, when entering, if you possess moist, again, so that's just like this one. If we get that, we can go through here. That'll pip up again. So haven't seen that attribute yet, but maybe soon. Just looking at purple being about to gain another comprehension. Although I think you typically get get those tags from these anomalies. So I don't have any of those on the horizon. But now we'll have orange move to here. And now use the traverse action with this energy die. So we pip down 1, pick up purple, go here. So the edge symbols only apply to orange. So orange gains an insight and advances time. Oh, and I explored this with Luna, so I've got to move Luna. There we go. And let's use an awareness die to theorize. So another player gains 1 insight. So that's going to be 1 robotics comprehension for purple. And because I use the awareness die, I also gain 1 insight. So I think I'll maybe leave this on robotics and let's grab that, I guess the comprehension token, but then also the breakthrough. So this one, you spend 1 data and it says deploy robotic fertilizer. Add 1 material to Luna's node and each adjacent revealed node. It's better not to ask. That's pretty cool. All right. So if we need material, that's a good way to turn data into material. And now that I've got that comprehension, purple can also choose to use smash to smithereens at some point. So purple's got some good ways to get resources onto the map. So finally, we'll take this wonder die, place it on rest. We can't pip it up any higher than 3, so we just advance time. And now let's retrieve all these focus blocks, reset the action trackers, and it is purple's turn now. So purple is going to start with the traverse action. We're going to use the awareness die, so that pips down. So we used an off die, so we don't gain the insight, but now we can pick up orange and traverse. So these symbols only apply to purple. So purple gains an insight that way, and we advance time 1 time. Now we've entered this node. Neither of us has the moist attribute, so we don't get to pip up. But now I'm going to move Luna over to here. And I guess I might as well scan. It's free. Let's do data this time just to do it. So 1. Okay, 1 data on this node right here. And what else? What else? What else? Is let's take the rest action now. So this pips up. I advance time, and that hits the trigger. So the storm moves, and we replace this card with the next one under it. Energy Storm says ominous silence. If there is at least one other explorer on your node, regardless of elevation, increase trust. If not, pip down. That's pretty cool. So let's have purple spend this energy die here on support. We pip that down. Orange gets rid of a distress card, which I will just set aside because I'll probably gain it again, and they're all the same. And then trust goes up, so we can pip up twice in total. I'm going to give them both to purple on awareness and on traverse. And I could move, but I'm not going to do that yet because I kind of want to see what's north. I want to explore that last tile and then pick which direction makes more sense. So let's reset the action markers, grab the focus blocks back. I'm acutely aware I'm going to run out of time. I'm certainly running out of time, but that's okay. This is a pretty cool planet. I'm looking forward to playing it more. But now it's Orange's turn. Orange does not start in the storm. So we're first going to move Luna. We're going to go north. And let me grab that last location card. And this is the Shrieking Mists. That sounds bad. The artwork is awesome. There's some giant creature lurking around back there. When entering, if you are grounded, pip down. That is something. And then there's no symbol on the bottom, and on the right there is time. So that's what Luna explored. So if we move north and then right, the only node edge symbol we'll pass is one time. If we move right and then up, we're going to pass time twice. There's no insight either way. So I think while we're here, let's have Orange spend the Wonder Die, pip it down once to pick up 2 material from this node. Got a lot of material. And then use the Energy Die to traverse. So that is going to give Orange 1 chemistry comprehension. Oh, and I guess before we do that, I'm going to do this, Shift Magnetic Resonance. So I spend 1 energy to make both local explorers the same elevation. So I'm going to bring purple up so that when we enter here, like so, we are not grounded. So now we don't gain that penalty of pipping down. And so let's get this comprehension now. So we get 1 chemistry comprehension token and a breakthrough card. So here's the token. And yeah, I'll have Orange keep working on chemistry as well. So what is this breakthrough? It says sniff mysterious vapors, not sniffy. You spend 1 material, and we have a lot of materials. So this one's 1 we can use. Limit once per turn. As usual, a local explorer adjusts their elevation and then gains an insight. Okay, the more I'm playing, the more I'm starting to think that this one, Shift Magnetic Resonance, set all local explorers to the same elevation, that like at least one of them needs to be at that elevation when you start. But I don't know, I'm still not 100% convinced of that. The rules of this game tend to be pretty generous, so I'm going to keep playing it the friendly way that I'm playing, and I anticipate I'm still going to lose anyway, so that's okay. And since Luna's here, I guess I might as well scan, right? Do I want data or do I want materials? I seem to have more materials, so let's scan for data again. And we're going to get another 1. Okay, nothing wrong with that. It gives us options. And I'm not going to take this move action because I want purple to be able to take traverse with orange so they can skip over that time symbol together. So I'm just going to set the awareness die to rest, pip it up, advance time, and that'll be it for orange's turn. So we'll untap that card, reset these action markers, grab the focus blocks back. This one's over here. Now it's purple. I think I'm going to have them stick together. Even though that was probably my fatal flaw from the start, it seems to have some benefits. So you can see how this map definitely would have been easier with 4 players. You know, if we had split up into teams of 2, that would have been helpful. Although then again, with 4 players, you're burning through the time more quickly, so I don't know if it makes a difference. Ooh, but we are going to need some energy, so that means I don't need to place this one, but I'm going to place the energy die here to gain 2 energy. So when I do traverse, I'm going to have to use a different die and just not gain the bonus. That's okay. I'm not relying on that bonus. So we'll use the wonder die, pip down here, and traverse. We go over that time symbol together, so it only counts as 1 time, although our endurance goes down. So we're getting close to permanent unconsciousness here. And we're all set to take this construct action, but I'm out of things I can do with my focus blocks. So let's have Luna scan. We're going for data again. We'll get at least 1, so that'll be efficient. 2, okay, so there's going to be 3 data on this node with Luna. And I don't see anything to be gained from moving Luna right now, so Luna's just going to stay. So finally, I'll put this focus block on rest. It pips up. Advance time again. And I think this game is marching toward an early completion. I think we need to settle into the idea that this will in fact be our graveyard. But okay, Orange's turn now. Let's start by constructing this pylon. So we pip this down. I'm going to use the wonder die. There is at least 1 engineering comprehension present. We need to spend 2 data, 2 materials, 2 energy. And now we can build that pylon. So we grab that. We'll need this block. We are elevated. That is required. And now we can ignore storm effects too. So we build that pylon. Mark this here for the moment, and I could do something else with my turn now. So I guess I might as well put this awareness die here and gather a couple data. And I don't want to move Luna. I think I want to stay near Luna. I guess Luna can scan for something, so I might as well do materials now. I'm kind of alternating back and forth. Don't really need it, but there we go. 3 materials, okay. So that's a pretty full node. 1, 2, 3. Man, what am I going to do? Luna scanned. I set my focus blocks. I'm not going to move the Explorer because I'm going to lose a time either way, and so I'd rather do that as a traverse action. Like I said, I'm going to leave Luna where Luna is because I might need to use that bionic leash. I don't really know. It kind of depends on what's coming up. So orange is going to be done. Let's reset these. Take this block back. Oh, I guess I didn't do this. Pip up energy, advance time. That's important. Take that. And then when this block is removed, what does it say? When the focus cube is removed from the action space and both boxes are filled, discard these markers and advance the page. So let's find out what's next. What's the next thing I'm not going to complete? Looks like it's going to take a lot of energy. It says, yet another thing. You must construct additional pylons, Luna says. That's funny. Which is odd because, no, we mustn't. A quick inspection reveals that the storm has damaged Luna's scanner, causing erroneous readings. For the time being, when Luna scans for data or materials, roll the die twice and gain the lesser of the 2 results. Interesting. The implication that this planet could potentially take Luna from us strikes us to the core. We need to get this done and get the heck out of here. Yeah, I agree with that. Trust goes down. That's not good. And then distribute 3 pip ups. I think we're going to need to move a lot. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 on those energy die. I think we're going to be taking traverse actions. So there we go. And what is the next thing we need to do is charge the pylons. To generate enough power for our repairs, we need to direct energy from the storm into each pylon. So an explorer on a node with a pylon can take the charge pylon action below. Place a black marker onto that pylon to indicate it is charged. You need to charge both pylons. To do that, you either need 4 energy or electrified tag must be present. So that's pretty cool. And then when a focus cube is regrouped from the above action, if both pylons have black markers on them, advance. So I think had I split up my explorers at the beginning, they would now very likely each be on one of those pylons, and we could just get some energy real quick. If one of them was electrified, that'd be super helpful. But spend a couple turns getting electricity, charge that, and I think we had accomplished that a lot quicker than we did the first piece of this task. But as it stands right now, we're just not going to have the time to even get all the way back to the other pylon. But I guess I'll do as much as I can. I'll just try and move real fast. So I'm going to leave orange where they are, and I'm going to have purple sprint, I think. So purple is first going to move explorer here, and that's going to cost a time. And then purple is going to traverse, and I'll use the energy die so I gain an insight. And then I move again. Okay, and I'll put my awareness die on Luna for bionic leash. So I pip that down, and I'm going to have an adjacent explorer change their elevation, and then I will rest. So that pips up, time advances, we hit the trigger. So the storm moves, and now we have energy storm, ball lightning, discharge. Immediately, gain an energy, and then all local explorers immediately pip down. So that's not the worst thing ever. Now we will reset our action trackers. We will take back our focus cubes, and it is purple's turn. So I want purple to do this, but they're not electrified. So instead, I'm going to put this energy block here, pip it down to gain 2 energy to start to build that up. And I'm going to leave purple there to gain that distress, because that'll get us another energy. Although I think this is going to be over before orange gets another turn. But just for the fun of it, let's investigate. Maybe there's some way that an opportunity can help me. So we'll do another one of these blue ones. And actually, just to demo this, let me cherry pick one, because I know the game's about to end. So we're going to take this one here. This is passing into the elements. It says, Luna erupts in excitement. Her scanners indicate the nearby presence of pressurized gases quite unlike anything we've ever seen before. She requests that, should we find some, we save her a sample. A personal sample for her own personal secret use, which is curious. Immediately, place the moment marker here. So I just kind of wanted to demo this effect. And it says, because I can see through it, when the object to the right is found, place the marker on that node. And this object is pressurized gas, and we have found it. It is here. So we now place this on this node. So if you hadn't found it yet, this just kind of sits there, and you continue exploring until you find it. And then once you found it, you add this there. So that's where the moment marker is. So then if you want to interact with this, you have to get to that space. So this says, capture a sample, you place your die there, you pip down. Prerequisites, locate the object and be elevated. And then when complete, take the token from the map, as normal, and then you gain 2 insight. It's not normal to take the token from the map. It's normal to take the token. So you just take it from a different spot. So that's sort of how that works. I wanted to demo that while I could. Now orange will do this. We'll rest. We pip up, advance time, and we recover these. It goes back to purple, who is starting in the storm. So they gain a distress. And we resolve this effect. We immediately gain 1 energy. And all local explorers pip down, so let's do this. And I would like to have purple at least try and run to the ship, but unfortunately advancing time once more will knock everyone out. And I will advance time even if I move. So I guess I'll do that. Let's take this first regular move action. Purple is going to go here, do the sheltering oasis, which is nice. And the node edge symbols mean that insight goes up, but time advances. So endurance drops, and both explorers are unconscious, so we should dramatically knock them over like so. And that's it. When all players are unconscious, you have lost. The game is over. I have not yet seen a mechanism where that endurance can be moved for an individual player, because there are provisions in the rulebook about if one player is unconscious, how you can interact with them. And you can still do traverse and pick them up and move them around. So presumably there is a mechanism for that. I haven't seen it yet. But that was it. That was a blind playthrough of Task A on Planet 2, Grakkis. So if we were to charge these pylons, there would have been, this is card, what is this, 5 of 8, so there would have been a third like mini task to do behind this, and then generally the last thing you need to do is get back to the scarabs. So I would play it differently next time I played it. I would definitely split up and go towards those two corners. But again, part of that comes from I hadn't played this one before, and I just kind of thought there would be more of these structure spaces. So that's kind of interesting that on this planet there's only the two, and if you need to build those two pylons, well, that means you can't build any of your normal structures. So yeah, very interesting. But even though I didn't survive to the end, I still had a good time. I would be very happy to play this same task again, which again was the thing that I was most worried about when I purchased Unsettled. I was like, are these sort of one time only? So again, I think this is a good demonstration of playing this again, even if I'd gotten all the way through and I kind of know what all the mini tasks are, which I'm not going to reveal now. Because I will allow it to be a surprise for myself the next time I play. But even knowing what I know now, I would play it differently. But all these tiles are going to be in different, all these map tiles are going to be in different spots. You're going to be getting different breakthroughs, different anomalies, different opportunities. The energy storm effects are going to be coming in a different order. I'm sure I'll see different ones. So the sameness of the tasks themselves, I don't think is enough to make it like one-time use only. I think I can play this many times and enjoy it. And I think it's also notable that this played very differently than the previous planet, than Winora. So again, Winora and Grakkis are the two planets 1 and 2, that come with the base framework box. Those are, if you buy just the base game, you get both of them. They play really different from each other, and I think that bodes well for all the other planets as well. So there were times in both planets when I was sort of incentivized to get the distress cards, but it was definitely different this time, where if the crew has 4 or more distress, you decrease trust. Oh, and I just realized I decreased trust at the end for some reason. Oh, right there. So right on that last turn, I should have flipped these over for the first time, because that was the point I was about to make, was that when I played Winora, I was flipping these over all the time. I was always at low trust, and it was kind of a struggle to manage that trust track. But it was really no big deal this time, and I actually got this extra boost a few times. So that was certainly a difference between the planets. The number of these construction spaces was definitely different. Only having the 2 and not being able to construct any of those was way, way different than Winora. I did like this mechanic with the storm and the elevation. I thought that was pretty cool. It was fun to see how that interacted with the map. I thought I at least did a much better job this time managing my resources. I thought that was that went pretty well. Luna's effect was obviously different for this different planet, and that was really helpful. I liked having that. It was cool. So there you go. That's my blind playthrough of Grakkis. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to talk to you about it there. And then I will release, like I said, tasks from the other 4 planets that I have, planets 3 through 6. I don't have any specific release schedule for those. I'm just going to kind of drop them in as I get to it, as I feel like. It's sort of like I've done with some other games like Endeavor Deep Sea. I just kind of drop those in from time to time. So if you would like to see those, make sure you subscribe to the channel and leave a like if that's something you'd like to emphasize. And don't forget, I have a whole Unsettled playlist of unboxing all sorts of Unsettled content. When I do some of those future playthroughs, I'll make sure to incorporate some of that other content. So things like scientific specializations and fascinations, those are super cool, and I would like to get those on the channel just so you can see them. And as always, if you really like this, please consider heading over to my Ko-fi page, ko-fi. There's a link in the description, and throw me a couple dollars there, because believe it or not, that is the main source of income for this channel. So it really is very much appreciated, and I'll be sure to give you a shout out. In fact, my next channel update, my mid-year 2025 update, is coming out a week from today, scheduled from when this video is supposed to come out. So I'll be sure to give a shout out to everyone who leaves a coffee donation from the first half of this year. So you can still get in on that. You've got a week. I would appreciate it very much. But that is it for this episode. I had a great time playing Unsettled and permanently losing consciousness on Grakkis. I hope you enjoyed watching it too. Thank you so much for watching Table for One, and I hope you have an awesome week. Take it easy.